Hi, folks. Today we're going to take a look at LIA, where he did a live stream calling out his evidence to prove that the mayor of Melbourne, Florida is corrupt. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And a quick word for today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Aura. We're online a lot, and let's be real, there's a lot of shady things online these days, and this is where today's sponsor, Aura, can come in and help you. Aura is an all-in-one digital security, protecting your personal data, monitoring your credit for you, has parental controls, VPN, antivirus, gives you 24-hour protection, and offers you a $1 million identity theft insurance policy. And why is Aura important to protect you? Well, we see a lot of things online that lead us to some websites that steal our data, then sell that stuff off to data brokers who can sell it and resell it, causing you to get spam calls, junk emails, and sign you up for things you didn't even want. But not only that, Aura puts an end to those pesky scam calls, the spam emails, and not only that, it can get your data removed from data brokering websites without you having to move a finger. Aura is offering you a free 14-day trial by using my link in the description box and signing up at aura.com/NCR or scanning the QR code. That's aura.com/NCR or scan the QR code for your free 14-day trial, and don't leave your data unsecured. Thank you again to Aura for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to sign up for your free 14-day trial. Not only is it the best way to keep your personal data safe, but it's the best way to help support me and the channel. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
To completely expose Mayor Paul Alfrey, the mayor of the city of Melbourne in Florida. So let's see here. I wanted to start off with, there's one benefit. Mainstream media, they're very choosy on what stories they cover. They have political affiliations. They have to say certain things, talk a certain way. I, on the other hand, do not.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Owning my own media company, which is great. So I wanted to bring this up. This is one of the perks. So Mayor Paul Alfrey is a piece of shit. This is the mayor's Facebook page right here. Mayor Paul Alfrey, see it here on top. He updated his profile picture to be the picture of his brother, Brian Alfrey, with a shirt saying, "My brother is the mayor." So why this is disgusting and despicable and a piece of shit move is because his brother has sadly passed away. I happen to be communicating with Brian, the brother's daughter, and his wife, and they are completely heartbroken and disgusted over this.
So the mayor put up a photo of his brother wearing a shirt that says, "My brother is the mayor," as his profile pic on his Facebook page for him being the mayor of the city of Melbourne, Florida. Exactly how does that make him a piece of shit? I mean, people do different things to celebrate the memories of those who they have lost. Me personally, I've gotten tattoos. Some people, they do stuff like that. They post photos on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter or on Snapchat. They do things to help them remind them of the good times when they miss somebody they've lost. Just because the mayor's ex-sister-in-law and niece are having a spat with him, and he does this, it doesn't make him a piece of shit, Sean. A piece of shit would be somebody who would insult this possible tribute to his brother. Maybe it's close to the anniversary of his passing. Maybe it's close to his birthday. Maybe it's close to that time when his brother wanted to show support for him. He wants to remember that. You are the one who is denigrating and trashing a memory that man is trying to cherish. That's the real piece of shit move right there.
He's putting this as his profile picture on his mayoral page, his public Facebook page for his mayor account, not his private page. He's putting this up there because he is currently, another POS move he's engaged in, he is suing his late brother's widow and daughter because they exposed his corruption. They exposed him taking over $20,000 using Brian, this man here, honorable man, using his personal credit card that he was personally responsible for. And the mayor, Paul Alfrey, used it for cruises, cryotherapy, and Brazilian TV for his mistress. So again, big POS move there. Now I wanted to bring up and show you guys how I got started with Mayor Alfrey here. Just 1 second. So I received a bunch of allegations of corruption, tyranny, using the Melbourne Police Department for his own gain in out of jurisdiction areas to intimidate his family. It's absolutely disgusting. Who sues their late brother's widow and daughter? It's just the amount. What's going on here? I have evidence, so I'm going to get through it one by one. But first, I went to the public meeting to call him out when the mayor had the Melbourne Police Department remove me forcibly. So let's remind each other of that.
Shenanigans.
Nah, 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 nah.
Shenanigans.
Nah, 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 nah.
And we're calling shenanigans, folks, because Sean is lying yet again on two different things here. First off, he was not removed forcefully from the city council meeting for calling out the mayor. He had expired his time and was trying to request time from another person, which goes against their meeting rules. However, there's something else we need to call out here. Sean's live from the beginning of this video when he said, you know, he's his own media outlet and he doesn't have to go by certain things. He doesn't have to go by certain biases or certain things that would mislead people. Even though he's doing that, he's choosing to pick what stories he wishes to cover and what stories not to cover. Because if he was asked to cover a story about good cops, would he do it? No. He only covers stuff about bad cops. So it shows that he has his own agenda. Just like he says all the other mainstream media outlets have. They have their own agenda. But how is it that his agenda is better and nobler than anybody else's? Because it's his company and it's his rules and morality, not nobody else's.
Me? No, he's giving me his time. That's permitted. You're not going to do that. I stand before you to address grave concerns dealing with Mayor Paul Alfrey. Reports indicate that you charged over $20,000 for cruises, cryotherapy sessions, and Brazilian television services for your alleged mistress. An act that is both a betrayal of trust and a crime. Mayor, and I'm glad you think it's funny. Are you the mistress? No. Are you the mistress? Hi, nice to meet you, mistress. I have a right to be here. Sir, I have a right to be here.
Well, he wants you out of the.
Don't put your hands on me.
Okay.
For what? I haven't done anything.
We're going to trespass you.
I have a right to be here.
I'm going to have to arrest you. I don't want to.
No, you're not going to arrest me.
You've been told to leave by the mayor. If you go back
for an unlawful reason, you took an oath. You raised your hand and took an oath, not to that mayor. Okay. You took an oath to uphold the United States Constitution. Would you like to talk about you using your deceased brother's credit card fraudulently? Why were you forced out of the Melbourne Police Department?
Oh yeah, he was also forced out of the Melbourne Police Department for failing to have a witness sign 20 different times on narcotics logs, endangering his canine partner. This mayor really is something else. So after that,
Now, Sean, I wouldn't be making comments about people's past, especially when yours is not so squeaky clean. You know, let's not forget, you are a convicted felon for armed robbery in the second degree. You did that. You admitted that multiple times on live streams and in your own videos. Yes, the mayor did mess up when he was a cop, and he did resign in lieu of termination. However, you're comparing his acts to yours. His aren't that bad. And the credit card in question was not a personal card of the brothers. It was a business card that both brothers had access to. And the mayor has already clarified that he would be making payments on that. Not the sister-in-law, or the ex-sister-in-law. Not his late brother's family. He would, because it's still attached to his business and he's paying those payments off. But Sean does this because it's all about making accusations for his channel. It's all about accusing people of this and that without any real proof. He's saying that that woman is the mayor's mistress, but yet he's not provided any evidence to back that up. He's just pointed to some random woman and has done that, like he has done at many city council meetings as of late.
I went to another public meeting where I had the mayor served with a defamation lawsuit because he said that I had sent him death threats, a lie and defamatory.
Work for you. Shouldn't defame people online, Mayor.
I'm not going to be threatened by you.
Who's threatening you? I'm exposing you. There's a difference.
Because of litigation, I'm going to step out of the room and let you handle it.
Is that allowed that he step out?
Didn't think the mayor was going to run away like a coward.
There is no personal attacks.
Do not interrupt my time, Councilman. You are a public servant. You need to learn your place. I can criticize whoever I want.
Go back to Long Island.
Boom. Roasted.
I will not allow you or anyone else in power. You, right there.
All right, so that was the second time I went to a council meeting. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make the next one, which is October 28th, I believe. I have a pre-scheduled event. But, so he had me removed the first time. Second time, he ran away like a coward because I served him with a defamation lawsuit. Ran to the back for the entirety of public comment. One of his buddy council members, Mark LaRusso, tried to defend him. But let's get into the actual corruption, huh?
Now, let's address this accusation that the mayor ran because he was being served with legal documents. No, the mayor willingly signed for the documents. We saw that. And the mayor chose to step out instead of being antagonized by Sean and falling into a trap that he wanted to set. Because we saw the speech when I covered it on this channel of Sean's accusations, and we saw a glimpse of how he was acting during that city council meeting. If the mayor was there, he would be directing it at the mayor, trying to provoke a response or a confrontation so he can make the mayor look bad. But the mayor is already a step ahead of him by knowing, hey, this is what he wants, so I'm going to step out. Another thing I want to address real quick is the fact that Sean is saying that the mayor claims that he made the death threats. It was not Sean who made the death threats. Even the mayor specified that in the Facebook post that he made, clarifying that it was his followers. And those were credible death threats. When you're saying that somebody should die from cancer, that you're wishing that upon them and their family, and telling them that it's coffin time, those are credible threats. And Sean, you can't deny that.
Get into this because I don't say that lightly. I've conducted a thorough investigation. I've forwarded everything to mainstream media, to the FDLE, to the FBI, Inspector General for the Treasury. Let's get right into it. So this right here, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to really pay attention here. This is Larry Jarnes. He is the owner and founder of a company called Relentless. Now let's move on. Larry Jarnes, as you could see him here with Mayor Paul Alfrey, they are very good friends. Very, very good friends. They go out together. They vacation together. You could see them here again. What looks like a cabin. You see them here at a look in the back. This is very important. A Space Coast Habitat for Humanity event. This is very important. I want you to follow along. So this right here in the gold jacket, that's Larry Jarnes. He is friends with the mayor who's in the middle here. And they're at a Habitat for Humanity event. Very important. So this over here is Jeanette Jarnes. Larry's to the left. Jeanette's to the right. And this is Mayor Paul Alfrey right here in the middle. This is all going to come together. Remember these names: Larry Jarnes, Jeanette Jarnes, Relentless, Habitat for Humanity. Where's the tie-in? They're obviously friends. There's dozens of pictures of these three individuals together. I just picked a few of them from what I had access to, just to give you an idea of how good friends they are. This is Jeanette Jarnes' Facebook page, so you can see. All right, so this is a text message in a text message group that the mayor was in. He's labeled here as terrible human. I didn't label him that, but I think it's very fitting for sure. It says, good morning, Jeanette Jarnes, right? Per our conversation last night, have Habitat for Humanity contact our office and speak to on scheduling future jobs. At John Miller was referring them to us, and he does not have an active roofing license, nor insurances or employees to complete the work. We complete Habitat's work now. Again, thanks for dinner last night, and we greatly appreciate this. I think it's weird he's like, we complete their work now, but he's kind of asking for work, or I don't know.
Now, there's things we need to address in this. Now, you're saying that you got this text conversation, but from where? Who provided it to you? I don't think the mayor labeled himself in his phone as terrible human being. I don't think Jeanette did that either. I don't think the mayor's friends would do that. Now, I'm willing to possibly believe that maybe somebody took the mayor's phone, edited the conversation group chat to make it sound like that's his name, But that conversation just seems like it's a normal thing. And clearly it's stated in there that the person that Habitat Humanity had originally lined up did not have an active roofing license or was insured. However, his company, Alfrey Roofing, is currently insured and licensed by the state of Florida. So they're saying that they will take, the responsibilities to finish up the projects for Habitat Humanity. That's all that sounds like. But where's the quid pro quo? Where's the, damning evidence you have? Because I don't see it here.
Seems weird to me. And then it says, hello, Paul. Great seeing you. This is, again, Jeanette, the wife of Larry. Great seeing you guys tonight. Thank you for the information. I will definitely be contacting Anna at Habitat for Humanity today. So if we go down here, Anna Berry, that's who she was talking about. She's friends with her. This is who I assume she's talking about, right? Anna Berry Terry. Interesting name. She is the executive director at Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. So that's who she was referring to in this text message. And Jeanette Jarnes, she was actually a board of director in 2020, I believe. So she has a lot of ties to it. They have ties to the mayor, text messages, him saying to send jobs his way for Alfrey Roofing. Anna Berry, the creative director. And this Relentless company, if you guys remember the beginning of my reporting, I said that the mayor took out an unauthorized $200,000 balloon loan for Alfrey Roofing without his brother's wife's signature. So that loan, as you can see, they were setting up a date to go for it. It says we are a go for 11:30 a.m. Irene Fonzie, Beachside Law Office, Relentless Title Company, right here. So now who is Irene? Irene is Relentless's title and law right here. So she works for Relentless as well.
Again, there's no proof of what you're saying in the evidence you're providing us. Now, yes, it does sound like they set up a meeting, but that could be a meeting for anything. They could be talking about logistics. It could be talking about upcoming projects. It could be a personal meeting between them about announcing, hey, we're going to come together and we're going to work together to help Habitat Humanity. You don't know that. What your evidence is showing us isn't anything but hearsay on your end. Where is this damning proof that you have? Where is the smoking gun of evidence? Because it's not there.
So put it all together. Larry Jarnes, Jeanette Jarnes, married, good friends with the mayor, Paul Alfrey, getting a lot of jobs from the Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. So now let's bring it all together with actual evidence. Let's see here. Let's bring this on stage right now. This, if you guys could see, I'll make it a little bit bigger so for you guys can see it better. This is the City of Melbourne, Florida minutes. I've been doing extensive research on all of this. I've been investigating every single thing. Is why I'm confident that the mayor is a corrupt POS. He needs to be removed. By the way, I've left contact information for the governor's office to have him removed. We need to call them. We need to call them and petition our grievances to our government and demand that Mayor Paul Alfrey be removed.
Would you shut the fuck up?
From office. He does not deserve to be a public servant. Mayor Paul Alfrey, you should really resign in disgrace immediately, especially after all this. So this is the meeting minutes here from June 11th, 2024. This is regarding the funding agreement with Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. Remember, the ties with Jeanette Jarnes, Abby, they're all there, the ties for Space Coast Humanity. They were going to give them out of the ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds, federal funds. They're going to give them, this is the minutes of them talking about the $500,000 they were going to give for Habitat for Humanity. And as you can see here, it says motion carried. This was the motion for $500,000 for Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. And you can see here, motion carried unanimously. The mayor has a vote. He voted for it. Not only did he vote for it, but we have here the resolution 4261, resolution of the City of Melbourne, Brevard County. This is the resolution which makes the budget adjustment for the $500,000 to go to Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. And look whose signature is on it. By Mayor Paul Alfrey.
So the mayor brings this up to the city council. The city council votes to give these funds that are going to go to Habitat Humanity to help build houses to provide people who are homeless homes to live in. Okay, yeah, he would have to sign off on the resolution to release the funds to Habitat Humanity. Where is the corruption? It could have been are you saying because they met and they talked about this? Guess what? Charity groups do this all the time. They talk to political figures in communities to see if they can get help from the communities or if they can get tax breaks or tax relief or funding to do these projects. Would you feel the same way if it was for a food bank? Would you feel the same way if the funds were going to a church or maybe a Boys and Girls Club or the United Way of America? Because, Sean, there's no proof of any corruption so far. There's no evidence of that.
Giving the $500,000, again, there could be more money than this. This is just what I know so far. I am still investigating. So think about it. The mayor votes on, unanimously passes the city council. He takes part in that vote. He signs the resolution giving $500,000 of federal grant money from ARPA. He signs it right here. Now let's follow the money. So right here, we have the city of Melbourne. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. The city of Melbourne accounts payable, total of $73,741.67. This money, this $73,000 came directly from the $500,000 that the mayor voted on, he signed off on, and it was signed a check to Habitat for Humanity of Brevard County, right? So now we got to zoom out a little bit. This is where it gets interesting. So if we go down here, we see the money was sent to the Habitat for Humanity, where Paul's good friends with board members, ex-board members, current board members, you know, a whole friendship. They're business partners together. He has tens of thousands of other jobs that I've seen, tens of thousands of dollars in other contract work from Space Coast Habitat Humanity, his personal roofing company, ladies and gentlemen. So if you go down here, you'll see who was a subcontractor on the $73,000 job here. This payout. Look at this. Alfrey Roofing. Interesting. How much did the mayor get paid? Looks like he got $1,800 here, a total of $9,200, almost $10,000 he received. His company, which he runs, his brother, who is a 50% owner, has sadly passed away. So he runs it completely. He's kicked out his brother's wife. He's kicked out and locked out his niece, his brother's daughter, who were active participants in this company and helped work and make it flourish. But you can see here, $9,200, $1,800 balance due. And then you could even see here the check, a check amount for $1,800. And I believe there was 17. You could see the check right here. This is the check to Alfrey Roofing for $1,800. And I believe it was a total of, you can see there, a total of $9,200. So this mayor voted on federal funds going to one of his friends' outfits, Habitat for Humanity. He has ties there. At the very least, he has very significant ties through Larry Jarnes, Jeanette Jarnes, and he received what looks to me like a kickback of $9,200.
Well, Sean, Habitat for Humanity is a 501c charity, meaning their books are open to people to look at to make sure all the money they raised is going to what they're saying it's going to. So if they hired the mayor's roofing company to do the job that they needed done because the person they originally wanted to use was currently unlicensed and uninsured in the state of Florida, he offered to do it. Now, he would have to pay his workers, so they would have to charge them. Yes, he could donate the time and supplies, or he could just be donating, the supplies and saying, but you guys gotta have to pay my employees because I have to do that. That's a different thing. You're still not showing us any corruption here. You're not showing us that he's taking a kickback. All you've shown us is that his company accepted money to do a job.
How is that not corruption? You see 70, and then we have another one, 7,400. So I believe it's $1,800 and $7,400 payments. But I'm telling you, and this is the check for $7,400 here. I'm telling you, I haven't been able to put it all together. I have seen tens of thousands of dollars going from Habitat for Humanity to Alfrey Roofing, the mayor's company. Now, I don't know if that was federal funds or not. I know that this 9,200 was federal funds. I know that. I don't know about the other tens of thousands of dollars. That could have just been, additional kickbacks. That's what it looks like, right? I mean,
everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
for those of us with half a brain, so we could see here. Also, he's right now, he is currently under FDLE investigation for using a fraudulent notary stamp of his late brother's wife and other bunch of accusations, fraud, everything else, using the notary stamp without approval for apparently a separation agreement. But yeah, this is what Mayor Paul Alfrey is doing. Can you imagine someone voting on, look at it right here, ladies, Alfrey Roofing Inc., Habitat for Humanity. I was sent this by the city clerk when I asked about the ARPA funds. This is what I was sent. He signed off on the resolution giving the money. He voted unanimously with the rest of the city council to get this $500,000 to Habitat for Humanity. He has a personal relationship with all of the people involving Relentless, the real estate company, and other companies as well. It's a pretty well-known company in the city of Melbourne, from what I know. Does a bunch of different things. But his wife, the owner of Relentless, his wife has, and he's done business with them before too. But apparently there's no invoices. So I don't know if he's taking money under the table to avoid paying taxes. That's something else that the IRS really should look at.
Sean, I just brought this up. Habitat for Humanity is a 501c3 organization. Their tax records have to be open to the public to investigate to make sure the funds are going where they're going. So you could actually possibly even FOIA request for that particular bid site, for that particular house to see, okay, I want all the bids and I want all the invoices for that house that was built by Habitat Humanity. I want to make sure all the funds went to where they were supposed to go. You could do that. The IRS can do that. But you're not presenting any evidence, Sean. You even just said, you don't have all the facts, but you're putting it together as you go along. That's not really investigative journalism. I could understand an investigation taking time and you have to put things together, but when you're coming out and you're throwing it out there as if it's fact now and you don't have all the information, how is that true investigative journalism?
But this mayor is going down for sure. You cannot take that. And you know how I know? Let's look at it here. So these are the laws that the mayor could have possibly broken engaging in this conduct. Federal law, 18 USC 666. Voted and signed a resolution directing $500K of federal funds. Company received almost a $10,000 payment. That violation of that law would be up to 10 years in prison. Let's go down. 18 USC 641. Converted ARPA funds for personal benefit, up to 10 years in prison. This is not looking good for you, Paul. I mean, listen, normally it's just business. I love exposing mayors. I don't care their political affiliation. I don't care about anything. I want to expose corrupt public servants. And mayors, as the leader, Paul, as the leader, you should know better. And that's why I have Governor DeSantis's contact information in the description of this video. This is one of the most important videos I've ever done. I'm going to keep talking about this. Trust me.
Yeah, Sean, we are well aware that you're going to keep talking about this as long as you can milk it. We're going to end it here. But before we do, there is something I need to address. The Florida News article that he brought up mentions that, yes, the Florida Attorney Generals are investigating Mayor Alfrey due to the investigation launched by claims by the sister-in-law that he did all these things. And since normally the police of Melbourne would handle this, and he's the mayor, the state is actually saying, no, the Attorney General is going to investigate it to make sure there's no corruption. So we're going to end the video here. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out my second channel, the podcast, and don't forget to sign up for your free 14-day trial of Aura. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I will see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me, and I can never thank you enough.